The wind howled through the skeletal remains of the market district. Once, the twin sons of Thrisha had poured gold across the plazas, and alien voices filled the air with laughter. Now, the streets were silent except for the crunch of ash beneath bare feet. Lyra pulled her little sister, Nea, into her arms, shielding her from the cold gust that blew through the ruins. Nea's small body trembled. Her skin, once the vibrant turquoise of youth, had dulled to a faded gray-blue, an unmistakable sign of malnutrition among their kind. "I'm hungry," Nea whispered, her voice thin and weak. "My belly hurts, Lyra." Lyra's throat tightened. She had no answer. The ration cubes she'd scavenged 2 days ago were long gone. The markets had been looted, the food reserves drained, and the humanitarian ships, mostly human ones, had stopped coming months ago. The war between the Human Expansion Front and the Thrishan Council had ended officially, but peace never reached the ground. The humans had won, and the victors rarely fed the defeated. Still, Lyra refused to cry. She was 17, and Nea only 8. If she broke now, Nea would never survive. "Sleep," Lyra said softly, tucking her sister beneath the torn thermal blanket. "Tomorrow I'll find something." Nea nodded weakly and curled up, her gill flaps fluttering with each shallow breath. Lyra watched her until sleep claimed her, then looked toward the distant human outpost on the horizon. The humans had food. They always did. The next morning, Lyra made her decision. She brushed dust from her tangled silver hair, wrapped a thin cloth around her shoulders, and looked once more at her sleeping sister. She had heard rumors of the exchange zones, where desperate Thrishans traded labor or themselves for human credits, food, or passage. The thought turned her stomach, but she was out of options. The walk to the outpost took hours. Smoke rose from burning fields, and wrecked alien ships lay half-buried in sand dunes. When she finally reached the outskirts of the settlement, she was greeted by the sight of towering steel walls and human guards in exo-armor. The humans looked different up close, tall, pale, scarred from battles that had taken more than worlds. One of them noticed her and raised a weapon lazily. "No weapons. Identify yourself," he barked. I'm here to work," Lyra said in broken Terran common, her accent thick. "I can clean, fix, carry, anything." The guard eyed her suspiciously, then called into his comm, "Another one for the registry. Get Captain Reeves." Minutes later, a man approached, tall, with dark eyes that looked carved from granite. His uniform bore the insignia of the Human Reconstruction Corps. "You're Thrishan," he said flatly. Lyra nodded. He studied her for a moment. "We don't usually take locals. Too risky." But he looked at her thin frame, the tremor in her voice. "We can make an exception. What do you want in return?" "Food," she said simply. "My sister's starving." His expression flickered, something like pity, quickly buried. "Come with me." Inside the outpost, the air was warmer, filled with the hum of generators and the scent of cooked meals. Lyra's stomach twisted painfully at the aroma. She was given a thin gray uniform and assigned to sanitation duty, cleaning corridors, recycling units, and the crew quarters. Days passed in a blur of exhaustion. For her labor, she received small ration packs, which she smuggled back to the ruins at night. Nea's eyes lit up each time she saw her sister return, clutching food. For a while, it was enough. But one evening, Lyra overheard 2 human officers talking near the supply bay. "New restrictions coming," one said. "No more civilian handouts. The governor says alien dependents aren't our responsibility." Her heart dropped. That night, she went to Captain Reeves. He was in his office, reviewing holographic reports. "Please," she said, kneeling. "They are cutting food soon. My sister, she will die. Reeves exhaled slowly, rubbing his temples. I told you, Lyra. The orders come from above. Even I can't override that. There must be something, she pleaded. He hesitated, then looked at her differently, like a man torn between duty and decency. There's one thing. The frontier colonies are hiring off-world labor. It's dangerous, but they pay in rations. Enough to feed a family. I'll do it. He shook his head. They don't hire Thricians. They buy them. Lyra's eyes widened. Buy. Indentured service, he said quietly. 5 years labor under human supervision. Technically, it's legal. You'd sign a contract, but once you're shipped off, you're theirs. It's not a life I'd wish on anyone. She thought of Nea's frail body, her thin fingers clutching at empty air as she dreamed of food. I'll go, Lyra said firmly. Reeves looked at her for a long time, then nodded. You're either brave or broken, Lyra. I can't tell which. Both, she whispered. The next morning, the transaction was made. Reeves personally ensured that Nea received food and shelter within the outpost. Lyra didn't look back when the shuttle lifted off. Her destination was Vega Outpost 9, a mining colony orbiting a red dwarf. There, she joined hundreds of alien laborers working under human overseers. The work was brutal, heat, dust, and constant exhaustion. But the humans kept their word. For every week of labor, she earned food credits sent back to Thrisha for Nea. In her few quiet moments, Lyra stared at the stars and whispered her sister's name, promising she would come back one day. Years passed. On Vega 9, humans began to change. Some saw the alien workers not as property, but as people. And among them was Commander Elias Ward, a human engineer who supervised the mining convoys. He noticed Lyra early on, the way she worked tirelessly, never complained, never bowed even when others did. You're wasting away, he said one evening, offering her a water flask. When was the last time you rested? Rest doesn't feed anyone, she replied softly. He smiled faintly. You remind me of people back on Earth. Those who'd give up everything for family. She didn't answer, but something in his tone disarmed her. Over months, their paths crossed often. He helped her when she was injured, taught her to read human schematics, even smuggled extra food credits to send to Thrisha. Then one day, an official notice arrived. Thrisha declared uninhabitable. All surviving natives evacuated to human refugee stations. Lyra's world shattered. Her sister was somewhere among the nameless refugees, if she was alive at all. I need to go there, Lyra begged Ward. Please help me reach her. Ward looked torn. If you leave the contract zone, they'll mark you as a deserter. I could lose my post helping you. Then let me go alone. He hesitated only a moment before handing her an encoded pass card. Dock 6, Cargo Shuttle Epsilon. It departs in 4 hours. Don't get caught. The escape wasn't easy. The alarms blared before she reached the shuttle bay, and guards rushed to intercept. But Ward appeared at the last moment, blocking their scanners and shouting, She's with me. By the time the confusion cleared, the shuttle was gone. Lyra aboard, tears streaming as Vega 9 disappeared behind her. The journey to the refugee station took a week. When she arrived, the sight broke her heart. Endless lines of alien survivors, huddled beneath metal shelters, waiting for food that rarely came. And then she saw her. Nea. Older now, thinner but alive, sitting among a group of children.